There we go. Okay, we should be good to go now. Let's just make sure it's all live on that end. Yep. Okay, it is. Okay. Let me get the chat up for me. Spread the link around and we can get started. So today we have our usual 10 bundles of Taurus and Shard Stars. We've also got our prizing from not the most recent premiere, but the second premiere of April. So it's the one where we came 18th. So we didn't get any extra prizing. It's just the participation prizing. But we have 2 premiere packs to open as well. So we're going to open that as well. Also, if you enjoy this kind of stream, we're also going. I should be getting my my Firestorm boxes in tomorrow. So we'll be doing another stream tomorrow, opening 4 boxes of Firestorm, as well as each of the new starter decks. We'll be opening those. So yeah. Now let me get this posted to the Discords, and then we will get started. Okay, yeah, desktop audio isn't going to come through, so this is fine. All right. Doot. Doot. All right. Now I just gotta get this up on my phone so that I can see the chat. Oh, is the audio super quiet? Is it still super quiet? I moved my mic a bit away, so that might be the issue there. Let me know if the audio is still super quiet. Doesn't look like it should be on my OBS. Yeah, let me know if that's still a problem, and we will get to the opening. So as usual with these, our primary goal is a playset of each of the reverse hollows and each of the full arts. And if we can pull any of the stellars, that'd be great. I'd especially love to pull some of the reverse stellars this time, because Rhino Sect is one of my favorite cards. I have a full playset of the full art Rhino Sect, and this is the first hollow printing of Rhinymph, so I would love to get some of that. Okay, that's very strange. I don't know why that's happening, because the audio seems completely fine on my OBS. Testing. No, that went down. Testing. Okay, should be better now. I turned up the gain on my microphone. But yeah, I'd really like to pull some of the reverse sellers this time. Because I love Rhinymph, but also Spiders is one of the decks I'm most excited for out of Firestorm. So I would naturally really love some of the reverse stellar Frostmite as well. Maybe not to keep, personally. I might end up moving those immediately to someone who is more jazzed about those stellars. But Rhinymphs I would probably end up keeping. Like, Rhinymph is one of the only sellers that it's like, oh, I would really like to keep this. I would really like to have this. Alright. And then, of course, we have the Majorsa promo that's going to be in every bundle. So we're going to have a full 10 of those. And unlike the Panther, it's not like it's a good card. Like, man, I don't get why that's original Majorsa. That should be champion Majorsa. Like, original Majorsa is just completely outclassed. Our sticker is Viscerous. That's a pretty cool one. That. True! Give me Marble Rhino Sect. Nope. Trouble right out the gate. Trouble right out the gate. Okay. Yeah, I always want to be very careful when I'm breaking out the scissors to not cut any cards. That's the thing. That's why I really prefer not to do this. Oh, this has got to be real messy real fast. Here we go. Real messy first pack. Real messy first pack. Okay. We've got the Earth's Coat. We've got the Polarachne. We've got the Cedarsaur. We've got the Snowlet. We've got the Nixamera Fallen Form. And then for our hollows, we have Earth's Coat, Champion of Kion. I don't quite have as much Perfect Fit clear sleeves as I would prefer, so we're not going to be decking them in those like we normally would. I need to, when I'm going to locals later today, I will be stocking up on my clear sleeves for Firestorm. And then we have our Taurus, our Constellation Rare right out the gate. Arcturus has seen like some play, so it's not like the worst Constellation Rare in the world, but it's still not like ideal, you know? Still not fantastic. Hello, hello, Codfish. Also, it is really a shame. Like, it had to happen. It's for the health of the game. But it's a shame that, like, the month that that Blistrix becomes, like, fully hollowed out with the hollow Snowlet here and the hollow Cedarsaur, the deck just becomes, like, completely unplayable. Because losing Rise is just like, oh yeah, that deck is totaled. Like it was already struggling to convert. It has like no room for skill expression as it is, and now it's like taken out back and shot. I wouldn't say that actually. Centaur has like seen some play. It's sure seen more play than like what was the Volcaries. Volcaries is the one that probably sees the least play of all of them. This is 94, 94. Also, a lot of the decks that I would build with like all stained glass spirits. The only thing that was preventing me from doing that fully was Frost. So glad to finally have this one. There's the Hibernation. Really want that one, because that's a really cool hollow. Like the new bear stuff with Ursaden seems like very potent. Very good at clearing the Lycovoid boards that are going to be common. So that's a very nice hollow to have in here. At the same time, though, I think it's cool that Hibernation got a reverse hollow print here. But at the same time, it's like, how is this not Cryoblast? Come on, man. Where's my hollow Cryoblast? I just want a hollow Cryoblast. It's one of the most staple cards in the game. I don't know. That just seems like not fully built out fire, even if there's a lot of fire players. Like, you don't see Valkyries in any of the topping fire lists. Like people are on Warmite way more than they're on Valkyries. Because like basically Warmite is able to clear basically all the same things Valkyries is capable of, just more reliably. Doesn't die to Specterus, stuff like that. Just a more reliable card. Earth's Coat. First coat, and here is our first full art Morlith. That's one of the other really exciting things about this one is the full art Morlith. The stadium full art is also really exciting considering Champion Broomalinx coming out in Firestorm tomorrow. That's probably going to be one of the more played stadiums. Why am I opening the next bundle? We have not finished with this bundle. I do this all the time. I open one pack. I will open one pack from the bundle. Then I'm like, oh, it's time for the next bundle. Yeah, oh, it's such a shame that the tournament pack reverse holos started in 3 and not in 2. Because I would love to have that Argo, that Cryoblast, and that Hurricane in holo. I would love the Nobby in holo too. That would have been really sick. They should have like what they should do is like in tournament pack 4 or whatever, they should have like a chance of pulling a reverse holo of one of the tournament pack 1 or 2 commons. That would be super cool. Just a way to get those cards in reverse holo would be sick. I can't imagine it'll be that long until we get some form of holo Cryoblast, though. Like, I would be very unsurprised if we saw Cryoblast as a full art reprint rune in the next set, the one that's going to be Earth and Water themed, and now that we now know has a Zeus specific searcher, which is interesting because it very clearly breaks with the theme from Firestorm, because the searchers were all given to divines of the focus elements, and as far as we can tell, the focus elements of the next set are going to be Earth and Water. So a Zeus searcher there is very interesting. We're goated. We're goated. We're goated. We're goated. We're goated. We're goated. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. That's what it's all about. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm so glad. That's awesome. That's sick. Oh, that's so... We'll put it over here, I think, is a good place to put it. Because we'll put the hollow floor mines down here. Oh, that's so sick. Oh, I love you, Rhinymph. I love you, Rhinymph. Okay. Onto that bundle that I preemptively opened. We've got a Waspire sticker. Oh. And this can be dumped. Well, yeah, but I wasn't saying that the focus divines all god searches. I was saying that the focus elements of Firestorm got searches. Those are two very different things. The focus divines are Hestia, Hermes, Zeus, and Poseidon in Firestorm. The focus elements are fire and wind. So Hephaestus, Hestia, Hermes, and Aeolus all got searchers in Firestorm. That said, that Zeus searcher better be the worst card I've ever seen. It better be awful. If the justification for banning Eletric is that it's too strong with searching Zeus specifically, so we have to take this away from every other divine, and when some of them are getting stuck with really, really bad searchers like Torchin, that Zeus searcher better be awful. It better be like plucky tier. I think a really good way to design it actually would be to go the Champion Sorlet direction. Don't have its alternate target be as good, but be a thing like it has a decent stat line, but to search the Zeus, it has to beat over something, which would make it inherently unreliable and give you a lot of ability to stop the Zeus, and would also completely prevent you from being able to do the thing where you go cast my guy out, search Zeus, and immediately use it to buff something. The Hestia Search is Torchin, one of the worst cards I've ever seen. Let me, did I pull the, no, I haven't pulled the Stellar Torchin. Someone else pulled that, Vocals. But Torchin is a 1/1 on cast. 1/1 on cast, to search for either Hestia or Torch of Hestia, which is a really bad alternative search target because Torch of Hestia is only really any good in Hephaestus. And then you can Nexus of Fire from it. So, like, the concept is supposed to be that you cast it out, you Nexus one back to Hestia, and then you definitely have Hestia's condition, so you can special cast something else out. But that sucks, because, like, the biggest thing a Searcher needs is it needs the capacity to still be a good body for tempo pushes, when you already have the card. That's why Elechic is good. Like Elechic being a 7 is one thing, but the big thing is that Elechic is still a useful card when you already have Zeus, or you've already gone through your Zeuses, or whatever. And then, like, Hermes is decent, but for it to be decent, it requires you to be in on the Spinal Sac stuff, which is very expensive and eats quite a bit of space, which really sucks. God. Hopefully I pull more than one Hollow Flormine, because when I was opening my Shard Stars Ares, I only pulled one Hollow Vipyro, which was stinky, but is what it is. I got playsets of everything else. Actually, I only pulled 2 Hammer, but I don't really care about pulling a playset of Hammer, so, like, it's fine. Like, I'd be completely cool with the Elechic ban if it was just like, if the searchers were all being designed on a baseline of, okay, unless this is an extremely powerful rune like Zeus or Demeter, these need to be 4 attack or 5 defense. That is the baseline of what they need to be hitting, but they are very clearly not being designed with that idea. And, like, I don't know why Sorlet is like that. Like, Sorlet as an individual card is super good, but it's so bad as an Aeolus searcher. And, like, the fact that the other Aeolus support, Galaxair, is literally just a worse version of what Hermes got, is also really sucks. That's a real shame that happened. Yeah. Our sticker for this one is Lodogon. Shout out to Fruits. Like, they really need to be designed with that baseline. And it's not like I've seen a couple people suggesting in the Elestrals Discord that it's like, oh, we have decided that 4 beaters that search is too strong. That's just very clearly not the case. Like, almost like there's a huge amount of searchers in Firestorm that are 4 attack. We have Brummelings, we have Titano Strike, we have Valkyries, and those are some of the most impressive cards in the set. It's very clear that we are still going along. Bunnix is a 4/4. Like, we are buffing the overall stat lines of some of the searchers that we're getting in Firestorm. The 2 4/4s are both searchers. Both of those things are searchers. And that's a way better stat line than any previous searcher has ever had. Like, the best searcher stat line previously was Narpoon at 4/3, which was already really, really good. Like, one of Frost's biggest appeals was its access to Narpoon, because it was just such a good card. Such a good card. Just not enough good Frost 1 cost to search, which is very much changing this set. Very excited for stuff involving Frost. There's a lot of good stuff to be doing with Frost this set. Very excited about that. And like, one of the best ways to deal with the Leica Void board is like you just need to get over the Leica Void, and then you need to end the turn with something that is bigger than the Werepups. If you do that, the Werepups are largely neutered and don't do anything. They can try and convert into something else, but you can deal with that. And obviously, a really good way of doing that is, hi, my name is Cryoling. I will now become Cryovert. But, like, the one thing with that is that it's really hard to get that off turn 1, which is no limiting. Okay, so, like, I just put out my video today about like, why the counter runes should not be limited. And I touch on the other must-play cards. Zeus and Demeter going to 1 is awful. For one, we saw how that played out already. We saw how it played out in late Daybreak. All that actually results in is that the good stuff slop decks that are able to have the space for 4 or 5 Thunder and 4 or 5 Earth just hugely benefit compared to everything else. So it's very bad for encouraging variety in decks if you limit Zeus and Demeter. Just doesn't work. Does not work at all. But the other thing is, the actual only issue I have with Zeus and Demeter was that in Daybreak, it felt like they were the main reason that Ascension decks couldn't succeed, because it was like, oh, the big stats of my Ascension doesn't mean anything because you can effortlessly threaten it with your Zeus or Demeter. But Ascension decks have consistently performed throughout Moonrise, so very clearly the issue was that the Ascension decks just weren't good enough in Daybreak. And that being the case, it now flips to the opposite end of it's very important for a reliable, repeatable stat modification to exist, so that you are able to consistently threaten those Ascensions with combat. This is especially the case with cards like Blistrix and Majesty, who are very intentionally designed to have a weak stat that you can't threaten with like just a 1 cost on its own. However, any decent 1 cost plus Zeus or Demeter is able to threaten, and that means you're able to engage with those cards a lot more often than you otherwise would be able to. Sometimes a card is busted, but also like extremely good for the game's health, and that is currently the case with a lot of the must-play staples in Elestrals. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I have the Mandate of Heaven. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I've never pulled more than 1 Stellar in a Star Stars opening. Usually I go months between Stellars. That's crazy. That's nuts, man. Oh my god. If we could pull 1 more, that would be sick. I would love to pull all 3 Reverse Stellar Rhinev. But even this is like, oh, now I just need to pick up 1 Reverse Stellar Rhinev on the market, and we're chilling. That's fantastic. Oh, I love you, Rhinev. I love you so much, Rhinev. Oh, I didn't finish going through that pack. I got so excited. Oh. Blazerus! Shout out to Blazerus OTK. Like my thing with Eletric is I really want choice restrictions to be brought in. So like for those unfamiliar, a choice tree restriction in the context I'm talking about is specifically here is a thing where you go on the ban list, you have a section of the ban list that says, okay, this card cannot be used in the same deck as this other card. So you would go, Elichick cannot be used in the same deck as Zeus or Demeter. If you do that, Elichick remains a good searcher for all the other divines, which is good for diversity because it makes those decks inherently better if they have access to a searcher like Elichick. And deals with the actual problem, which is that Elichick is a 7 under Zeus or Demeter. Yeah. Also, notably, it gives those decks a reason to not be on Zeus or Demeter, because by doing that, they get access to the powerful Elichick. It is, if anything, it would actually promote less people opting to not run Zeus, and that's like a kind of cool deck building decision that I really like about choice restricts. Yeah. Another Hollow Hibernation. Good to see. Want to get that playset. Got the Hollow Cedar Soar. Hollow Cedar Soar doesn't feel that great, unfortunately, because it also has the Stellar in the tournament pack, which naturally looks a lot better. But I imagine this is pretty appealing and pretty easy to access for someone who wants like a Hollow Cedar Soar but doesn't necessarily have access to a locals. But I have access to multiple locals, so like I'm gonna have a playset of Stellar Cedar Soar for sure, if it's even ever relevant again. Sure, I can't teleport Toronto locals over somewhere else. I just happen to live in one of the most active card game regions in North America. Like that, I'm just lucky. I'm just lucky for being born where I have been, with also like decent public transportation for getting into Toronto. Sorry, just lucky. That's all it is. Yo! Still Ready Sicker! The boy! The boy! Yo! We love Edward! We love Edward! Finally pulled a hollow Nixamera Fallen form. That's sick. And the playset of Hibernation. We love to see it. And there's our second mountains. I was wondering where those were. This mountains art looks really nice, by the way. Like, this thing is so nice. I really like this artwork. Like, who have we got all on here? We've got the little penguin down the bottom left. We've got the Morphrost Indus. We have Shiverwar. I think we have Willy over there. We have our friend Cryo Scorch up in the sky, I believe. Cool stuff. I like this art a lot. I'm really excited for Spiders. I think Spiders plays in a really cool way. Flurmine sticker. Let's see. I really want to try and figure out Dracodoodle. I think there's a way to make it work, and I think that that card's really, really powerful. What else? What else has been really sticking out to me? I really want to do stuff with like the Champion Spectaris. I like that card a lot. I also really like Champion Exaltus. I'm excited to try out solar stuff because I think there's a lot of really powerful solar stuff in the set. Anything I can make good use out of Monsoon in, because I really like Monsoon of Urus. It's one of my favorite cards in the set. Is there anything else that comes to mind immediately? I think those are the main ones that I've been personally excited for. I'm, of course, also really excited for the Frost stuff. Brummelinx is a big boost to Frost decks. Basically, all of those Frost cards except for, like, Urskout, are pretty cool. Bridge is also pretty fun. Oh my god! Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me, man? I guess it's natural that the person who one-tricked Rhinosect for like all of Daybreak would come into the Frost Shattered Stars with two reverse sellers that were both cards I played in Rhinosect. Like, naturally I played Rhinymph, but I also like very commonly teched a one of Frostmind, especially once Galaxy started getting really popular. It was very common for me to tech that card. So like I guess it just makes sense that this would be the time that I pull a bunch of reverse sellers, but that's hilarious. That's so cool. Like, as I said, I usually have not been able to pull even a single reverse seller in my 10 bundles of Shattered Stars. Like I pulled Serialized Vertilith in Earth, and then it took until last month with Fire for me to pull even a reverse stellar. And before that Vertilith, my last Shattered Stars stellar was Draking in the Lunar Month. So I've run pretty dry on sellers in Shattered Stars. So this is incredible. This is so funny. And there is our playset of the mountains. I did see the Divine Pack. That I'm super happy that they added that. It's such a cool hype thing for to happen. How are we doing on each of the reverse holos right now? We're at 4 copies of Urskout. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Polarachne. Only 3 Cedarsaur. Snolet, we have a ton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Snolet. We have 1 Nixamera Fallen Form, but I'm fine if I only pull the 1. Because I'm gonna, if I play that deck, I'm gonna be, it's like I put time into that deck, I'm gonna want the full art anyways. I'm not gonna be using the reverse holo. But more importantly, it's a 1-of anyways. 3, 3 Hibernation. Like, the only way you don't run 1/1 of the Nyxomeras is if you're really concerned about your initial Nyxomera being Risen form, in which case you run... No, you do run 2 Fallen in that case. Because the situation you want to hedge for is when you have... when you draw into the Fallen form. Because if that happens, and you go Bunnix to find Risen, you have to dump the Risen, because you won't be able to get a second Nyxomera. So you would need a second Fallen form, so that when you draw into the Fallen form, you can still dump the Fallen form, add the Risen to hand. But I don't think that's worth it. I think you always go 1/1. Morlith. Good to see you, buddy. I'm glad to have Morlith stock forever, because I have like 7 of the normal hollow Morliths, and then I'm going to have a ton from here. 4 copies of it so far. And we have our playsets of all of the hollows. So like nothing to worry about there anymore. So we've got Matursa. And Twindra! That's fitting, given how much I've been playing Pantera lately. That is fitting. How many bundles do we have left? This is our 3rd to last bundle. Okay. Let's see if we can pull more Stellars. It would be awesome if we also put a serialized Stellar here. Let's pull the X out of 10. I think that might be pushing our luck a bit. We've got the Hollow Cedar Sword and the Arc Taurus. Oh, this is so nuts. That's so awesome. This Rhinymph art is really nice. I really like it. I would love if Sean of the Art Buddies, you might know, but Sean is my local, but like Sean really likes spiders. As the 2 of us have been nabbing out that deck a lot since Firestorm Reveals finished, which is why I have a lot of experience on that deck, because we're both pretty interested in what that deck can do. But he really wants the Stellar Frostmites. So, like, I'm going to go to him and be like, hey, if you pull a Reverse Stellar Rhinymph from your bundle, I will trade this Frostmite for it. Otherwise, like, we'll figure something out. I will probably end up moving this Frostmite to him. Stellar Voldusk sticker. This is a pretty nice art on this Stellar Voldusk sticker, too. That's cool. That's neat. Oh, I forgot. Oops. No wonder things have been upside down. There we go. Now everything is oriented correctly. I've had incorrectly oriented this whole time because I'm a dumbass. I always do this mirror flip so that I don't have to, like, turn it around for you guys. Nyxomera and Morlith. Don't mind that at all. The other weird thing about Reverse Hollow Nyxomera is, like, I appreciate that having this art in Reverse Hollow if I prefer this art. But it's also a thing of, like, well, the card comes hollow in base rarity anyway, so, like... Yeah, I have a full playset of full art Rhinosect now. So, like, I need to get the 3rd Rhinymph, so that anytime I end up bringing out Rhinosect, the lineup is fully hollowed. Very nice. Though, like, I don't think I'm gonna be taking it to a premiere anytime soon. I love that deck, but, like, it hasn't really gotten any direct support. I I really love that card though. I would really love to bring it out again, but like it really does need like some sort of direct support for me to really break it out again. Maybe I'll dabble in it again with the new Frost stuff. But with the new Frost stuff, I'm kind of more interested in just like playing like a more like mid-rangey deck with like use the Cryovern stuff, of course, and maybe the new champion Narpoon with Waylance as well. That original Waylance, to be clear, not the new Waylance. That seems super solid as well. Because like original Waylance is a scary card to be facing down. And being able to like special ascend into that is really strong. Okay, this is our last bundle. Wait, we have only pulled one Hollow Spirit. Is this actually happening again? That's crazy. That's insane. Capricorn, good old water reanimator. That's insane. If this actually happens again, that's crazy. Okay, good. We came away with more than one Hollow Spirit. I swear, if that happened 2 10 bundles in a row, I'd lose it. Alright, and we've got no more Stellars. We've got one more Mountains, one more Urskote. I think we came around with 2 total Hollow Nixamera, but that's fine. I didn't really care about that, getting that reverse Hollow. Oh, it's very straightforward how I lost to that deck. The deck okay, so it doesn't really play the game. It just dirtles behind 5s forever. And like it draws a billion cards because of Voldusk effects. So you only have so many ways in the typical deck of clearing a 5 defense guy, and they just divert all of their resources into counter runes to protect those guys. Like for example, the deck runs 3 Gorgons, 3 Shield, 3 Tsunami. You have a ton of draw power to find those. You have access to like 6 copies of Voldusk. Over the course of the game, because you have the 3 Voldusks as well as 3 Searchers to get to it. Those Voldusks. You have the. Actually, I'm not sure if Bo was on 3 copies of if she was on 3 copies of the Lunar Face that retrieves Voldusk, but you do have the ability to recur Voldusk with that card. You also have Ash Rabbit as another 5 defender, and unlike any other deck in the game. You can win the game off of just sitting behind 5 defense for the entire game because you can't deck out. You cannot deck out. As long as you hold a copy of that Voldusk Searcher, if you are at 0 deck and you have a Voldusk up, you can just go cast, pay 1 Lunar for it, put a Lunar Face back, fail to find, so you don't add anything to your hand. There's not Voldusk to find anyways at that point. And then you heal 1 with Voldusk effect. So you spent 0 spirits overall, and your deck is back to 1 card. Then you draw the copy of that same Searcher that you just put back, and you do it again. And you do that over and over and over and over, and you just cannot deck out. It's impossible for you to deck out. And I really hate that that's a thing that you can do. What's really annoying for me is that is that thing really, that's philosophy really folds to like an Ascension deck, or it folds to Galaxair. 2 people from my locals actually net decked Bo and brought it to my locals yesterday. And I was able to confirm there that the sideboard that I brought in against Bo did 100% work. But because I didn't realize that that loop was possible, I wasted 30 minutes in game 1 and did not have the time to get to what I needed to get to in game 2, and therefore I lost. Durdle. D-U-R-D-L-E. Durdle. Well, like, okay, let's think about this. Let's think about this. How many ways do we actually have to get over a 5 defender? We have a decent number of ways for a deck that is actually trying to play the game. We have Sorlet, we have Eddie, we have Zeus, and we have PTAs to just get rid of them. But we don't have enough that we will be able to punch through all of the defenses that Voldusk deck is going to have when it can just commit all of its resources to defending those 5 defenders. Like, because, like, think about this. Hydrate can't do anything because they're not putting... There's nothing in the deck for Hydrate to crash into. Even if you get into Twyndra, Twyndra still doesn't do anything because it's only 5 attack. It can't get over the Voldusk. You need to get to Penterror to even do anything, and the Penterror can just die for that line to do anything, and Penterror can just die to shield. Like... Durdle basically means to, like, just sit there, like, doing nothing, not really doing anything to advance yourself towards the typical win condition, and just, like, draw a billion cards. Just accumulate resources without, like, pushing towards any kind of normal win condition. Alright. Well, this was a sick bundle. This was a fantastic bundle. Wow, that's the best I've ever had it. 5 Hollow Hibernation is pretty sick. 6 Scepter. 5 Mountain. 5 Morlith. So that puts me to 12 copies of Morlith total. 4 Arc Taurus. Alright, let's move this over here and open our tournament prizing and then get out of here. But yeah, that is the type of deck that I fundamentally don't like existing in a card game because, like, it's for the game to feel engaging and for the game to feel back and forth, both players need to, like, be actually engaging with the board state. And a deck like that just doesn't need to engage with the board state. It just needs to sit behind its 5 defenders forever and just protect those, and doesn't have to, like, attempt to do anything about your board state. Unless you put up very, very specific threats. Alright. Premier packs. We've got Fulguries and Bromolinks. Very happy to see the Bromolinks, because that is the one champion that I was missing. And also I really like Bromolinks, really good card. It's my second copy of the Fulguries. They might, but I hope they don't, because, like, all of the things that I find interesting about Gorgon's Gaze are because of everything it can do. I think the idea of taking Gorgons and splitting it into parts makes for a less interesting card. It is far less interesting. Like, the idea of playing with a Gorgons that does the suppression negate But like none of the other things is like super unappealing to me. It's not very interesting. Specterus and Eddie. So that's my second Eddie. And I believe my second Specterus as well. That's sick. I would have liked to have more of the spirits though. Also, it's very important to note that Gorgons is as viable as it is. It's the staple that it is because it does both the negation and attack negating. If you split those into different cards, those separate cards aren't all that good. They actually end up like much more niche than you would expect. Because like how often like Gorgons is used to stop attacks just as frequently as it is used to negate. And the one thing I was talking about a lot in that video was that the good counter runes are the ones that are able to influence combat. And if you take away Gorgon's Gaze's ability to influence combat, it becomes a much worse card. And that can make the game overall worse, because that means a lot of players won't have the tool in their deck to negate key effects that are designed around the idea that they can be stopped. No, I do not think Gorgon's Gaze does too much for a single card. I think Gorgon's Gaze can be argued to be a bit overpowered, but a card can be overpowered and still overall good for the game's health. And that is the category that I think Gorgon's Gaze ends up falling into. Okay, anything cool in here? No, nothing of note in the Moonrise pack. Alright, that's going to be a wrap for today. As I said, tomorrow we will be doing a Firestorm opening. Probably it will be 4 boxes plus 1 of each of the starter decks. So look forward to that. And this is going to be Hunter Search signing off.